it's time to start the morning with some wisdom. It's still very hot, so I gotta be patient. But let's jump into a little bit of the subject. People are going to bet against you. It's just facts. Have you ever wondered why most people want to support random celebrities, random anybody, but you or people that they personally know? It's simple. It all comes down to jealousy. And you want to ask me how I know this? Try being in a touring band for 12 or so years and see how much of your friends will really come out to support you versus random people. See, I have a theory, and as much as I would like to be scientific, I think it's as accurate as I've ever noticed it to be. People that you know and that you come from the same area plus you equals no support. But let me explain the details on that end. See, when you have the same people from your hometown or the area that you've been growing up relatively for the most time and you've been located that way, and you start doing something that requires support, whether it's through people or whatever in that aspect, most people that you know personally do not want to see you succeed and they don't want to support. And the reason why is because they do not want to see you succeed, because if you do succeed and they are not succeeding the same way that you are, they believe that it's really now their fault, and they're not about to let that happen. See, in theory, if you're given the same opportunities and the same options, theoretically, you both should be succeeding in the same aspect. For example, when I used to be a touring musician, most people that were in my hometown wouldn't want to come support me, whether they were in other bands or anything, because they did not want to see me have a successful show most of the time, because that would mean that they are not doing exactly what they could have been doing, that I'm succeeding in that aspect. Which means that's a reality check for them, and they're not about to have that, because they like to believe that the reason why they're not successful is because the area or people in that area are not supportive towards them. It's not really their problem. They're not the ones that are not hustling or working hard enough towards their goals. And that's one of the main issues why people will bet against you, which that entails to saying it's easier to hate on people than try to succeed yourself with the same tools and opportunities that they're given. Because then in your mind, you probably don't feel like a failure. So how can we overcome, all that life kind of motion where people are just going to be betting against you? Well, the easiest way to do it is by betting on yourself. And you might ask yourself, how can you bet on yourself? What can you do to succeed and go against all odds of what people are basically going against you? Since most of the time with them betting against you, it might discourage you a little bit here and there, but I'm gonna tell you my secret. See, by betting on yourself, you take away anything that anybody can control over you, and you're taking in charge of yourself and what you can achieve for yourself. At the end of the day, by betting on yourself, simply is just going by doing better than you did yesterday. See, that can entitle you to do anything that you want to that will better yourself, but for me personally, is going out to create videos and anything that I need to just by simply showing up. There's nothing worse than not showing up. So for me, it's if I show up and I just go ahead and practice what I'm needing to practice, I know I'm gonna get better slowly but surely and have a purpose every time that I go out and do better than I did the day before. See, something that I've noticed about success and how people succeed is by overcoming their fears. You're gonna have to overcome the fear of failing. You're gonna have to overcome the fear of trying and simply just doing. You have to learn to let go of the doubt because you're scared of what people will think of you, what is gonna happen, what could happen, and let that go and focus on what you can control. It's simply betting on yourself to show up and do the right thing to become better every single day. Because what I've seen in over these years of doing music and now YouTube and everything is the people that show up every single time for the longest period are the people that really just succeed. See, I've seen most bands, most YouTubers that have found success have been the ones that just truly and wholeheartedly betted on themselves and believed that they could achieve their goals without casting doubts, for the most part, obviously, from what other people thought about them. And that's something that I think we need to be doing more this year. I've noticed that most people tend to fear what they don't understand. So that's one of the things that has helped me overcome anything that when people bet against me. Because when people don't understand something, they just, they fear it. So they try to just cast a doubt on it and bet against it because they don't want to adapt on the reality. You see that with anything that happens in life, and that's just sadly how it goes. But you can do something about that. Because what you can do is simply just focus on the perspective of yourself and your goals and don't focus on their perspective of you. See, if they just understood what you're trying to do, they probably wouldn't be betting against you. They would build a community around it because at the end of the day, there's more of us and less of the top, right? So if we built a community in that aspect, we could all be, to a certain degree, succeeding in our own niche and just wanting to achieve the goals that we want to and finding the right people to, work together to bet with each other to just become the greatest that we can. But that's harder to do, obviously. Not everybody's gonna have the same goal, same mindset, same everything as you. And that's why a lot of the times people just want to bet against you because they don't want to see you succeed in what they wish they could have done. And now they're seeing you succeed and it doesn't feel good for them. And that leads to people wanting to blow out the flame that's, basically sparking that inside of you instead of just understanding it that it's there to light the way for others as well so that the community can grow. So maybe one day they'll understand, but for now, that's why you got to keep betting on yourself. So it's time to believe in yourself this year. Start betting on yourself and just go for it. I wholeheartedly believe that manifestation will lead to your final destination. If you can believe it and you can dream it, you will achieve it. Just work on it, put the right foot forward, set yourself up for success by just showing up every day and betting on yourself no matter what anybody else is bringing to the table. And I wholeheartedly believe that that's the way to succeed in anything that you do in life. So that's what I've been doing for myself this year, and I'm already going to be keeping going forward with that because I wholeheartedly believe that I can succeed. And as long as I'm putting myself out there and getting better every single day, I know I can achieve it. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.